Hello everybody, my name is Dead Wombat. Well, not my real name, but it is now. And I'm going to bring you guys some Heartless Swarm commentary. Hopefully. Currently I am in Platinum League. Only Platinum. I don't play a lot, but I do have a very big win rate. Shoot, let me speed that up. I have a very large win rate, hope to get into Diamond in the next couple games, and my goal is Masters. That's something that I definitely believe I can accomplish. I believe that I got the skills. My biggest weakness as a player is my inability to multitask. That's just because I'm attention deficit. It's really hard for me to keep track of everything and spawn larvae reliably and keep making those overlords. I'm so bad at supply blocking myself, like a total bronze leaguer. But on the flip side, I believe that I have really good grasp of the game in terms of the mechanics and the strategy, and I try to use that to my advantage as much as possible. So this game against my Terran player Ape Island, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use tactics to win a game rather than just brute force or good mechanics. So I start out with the 15 hatch. I always love 15 hatch. Love it, love it, love it. Love having that extra income and of course the extra larva to go with it. It's invaluable as Zerg. And I followed it up with a 14 pool in about a little while and 13 gas. Meanwhile, I send an overlord to scout. Now, I don't send him to scout the base, because I know I won't be seeing much. But I send him to this fantastic little spot up here, with this little pillar. It's a perch for an overlord, basically. An overlord can hide up there, and units on the ground will not see it, because overlord's considered on high ground. This is one of the reasons why I absolutely love this map. I think it's called Belshir Vestige or Vestige. It's got these fantastic overlord perches. So this allows me to see when my opponent takes his gas. It's not close enough to see when he expands, unfortunately. But I can indirectly see when he expands by when he takes his gas, which is great. There's also another overlord perch here, and I think a couple others in a few places. Like right here, and right there. So yeah, this is why I really like this map. Feel like Zerg has a good advantage here. Now whenever I start out a game, some little action going on here, killing the scouting SCV. Whenever I start out a game, I always look at what race my opponent is, and what immediately goes through my mind is, okay, what are my strategies? What are his possible strategies, and what am I going to do to counter those? I am a big fan of scouting. I believe that scouting is one of the most important things you can do in Starcraft. Even more important than macro. Seriously. Because if you scout your opponent well, you can know what he's doing and you can take advantage of that. You can counter what he's doing and adjust. So, love to scout. You can see I'm heading up to his ramp. And I see one barracks and just one marine. I also see another barracks building and a reactor. So that tells me that he's going for some aggressive play. I also noticed that he did not expand yet, because he would have had stuff out here. So I see one base play and I'm thinking that, you know, I should be prepared for an attack in the early to mid game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a few more drones, going to saturate my minerals a little bit more, and then we're just going to power units. Now you see I got a Roach Warren here. What I did is that I went a blind Roach Warren. And I tend to do this against Terran a lot. I'm still trying to figure out the metagame. But I find that getting a blind Roach Warren is very valuable, because in Heartless Swarm, you're faced with not only the Hellion harasses, the Wings of Liberty, but also the Reaper harasses, and also Widow Mines. Let's see, I can't remember if roaches have enough hit points to take a Widow Mine shot, but regardless, they can tank a lot more, and they don't clump together as much. So I'd rather have roaches when widow mines are out in the field, and widow mines are pretty popular right now, so that's why I tend to go blind roach warren. Another thing that I do is I'm scouting again. You see, I got Overlord speed, which is why I scouted, or why my Overlord is able to move so fast. And what I did is I waited long enough to see what's coming out of this factory. So I saw these Marines. I'm like, okay, he's going all Marines, and then I see the Hellbats. I'm like, ah, perfect. Getting Hellbats. So what do? I adjust. I throw down Baneling Nest immediately. Now, not only that, but I throw it down at my natural. I've already noticed that he's scanned my main base. If you take a look at his vision, you see a perfect circle around here, so you can tell that he did a scan. And he'll do another scan later. So I don't want to put it up here because I can tell this guy is the type of Terran that wants to scan to keep track of the players instead of scouting manually. So I throw it down here and hopes that he never finds it. That way I can get my Banelings out and just trounce his army. You know, Banelings are always good against Marines, unless you just happen to meet them on an open field. That's not good. But they're surprisingly pretty good against Hellbats too, because Hellbats are light. And yes, they do a lot of damage, and 2 Hellbats can kill a Baneling immediately, but Hellbats only have a range of 2. Not only that, Banelings, I don't have any yet, but Banelings have a splash damage range of 2.2. So even if the Hellbats destroy the Banelings before they get close, they're still gonna get all that luscious, delicious bonus damage versus light on these Hellbats, and they're gonna do a lot of carnage. So that was my reasoning to get the Baneling Nest. Now I'm also getting a lot of roach because, like I said, I keep on expecting him to attack anytime soon. Now he does take his expansion eventually, but it's a really late expansion, and I don't see it yet because he hasn't taken his gas. But right now I'm just focused on getting a lot of roaches. I was really late on my gas. Oh my gosh. I'm not doing good on my creep spread either, and my queens. I was pretty good on spawning, but could have been a lot better. I was also getting up Zerg missile attacks when I should have been getting armor. Roaches always do better with the extra armor against Marines. But anyways, I'm still doing pretty good, in my opinion. So I'm morphing my Banelings, I go scout again, and I'm like, where the heck is his army? I see the missile turret, which makes me chuckle because I realize that he is blind countering Mutalisks. Now if he would have scouted me more, he would have known I'm not going Mutalist at all. So that's his loss. Now, this is the perfect moment to pause right here. So he could have had a lot of Marauders if he knew I had all these roaches. But he doesn't. He's got Marines. And he's got Hellbats. So, bad unit composition for him, great for me. But not only that, I see him coming because I took the Watchtower. Like I said earlier, scouting, so very important. I see him coming, and this gives me time to set up a trap. So what I do is I keep my Banelings down here. See him morphing them, and I'll keep them at the bottom of this ramp. I can tell from the angle of his units and how they're walking that he's going straight for my second. So I'm going to keep him back here and attack from behind once they come up this ramp. Then what I do is I keep my roaches over here to act as the sort of decoy. So I'm going to show him my roaches and like, hey, you got all these roaches, and then I'm going to sandwich him between the roaches and the Banelings. And usually Banelings would be not too good in this situation, even on creep, because they don't have, what's it called? I know it's called Baneling speed, but what's it called? Centrifugal hooks. Yeah, they don't have centrifugal hooks yet, and he doesn't have stim, but still, he could always kite and just destroy all my Banelings because he's got a lot of Marines. So to compensate that, I try to trap him, and the only reason I was able to set this up is because I saw him coming. So I keep my Banelings down here, like I said. Keep my roaches here and Overseer too, just in case of Hellbats, or not Hellbats, Widow Mines. Because Widow Mines are really, really popular nowadays. So he walks onto my creep, See his army. I'm like, great, perfect. This is perfect. All his Hellbats are in the front. All the Marines are in the back. That could not work out better for me. If I could not orchestrate like a better situation for me. So I'm going to bring my Banelings up. I'm going to bring my Roaches up. The Hellbats are going to be distracted by the Roach. They're not going to be able to kill the Banelings. The Marines are going to want to kite. But my Terran player will find out that he doesn't have any room to kite, as you'll see. So I bring my Banelings up, and he's like, oh crap, gotta run away. And he's like, oh shoot, there's the Roaches, and he's got nowhere to go. He tries to run up there, but it's too late. I'm able to deal massive damage on his clumped up units. I even get great hits on the Hellbats because they're not even facing the Banelings to attack them. And my Roaches clean up the few units that are left. And then he leaves the game right afterwards. So I thought this was like a perfect game, perfect engagement for me. And what I really wanted to draw to attention was just the setup and the engagement and how I used positioning and map awareness and awareness of his actions in order to take advantage of what he's doing. Now yes, I had a very big supply advantage. You know, I was on 2 bases. I don't have the best macro, but I have pretty good macro for Platinum. Let's see, 86 to 115. However, to be perfectly honest, I could have killed this off with just a small fraction of these Roaches. I could have killed them off with like 5 Roaches in these Banelings. And the only reason why is because of the way I engaged. So, anyways, in conclusion, I just want to sum up how important scouting is, and you can see how my scouting led me to anticipate his movements and anticipate his decisions and make a perfect army composition to counter it. Not only that, but his lack of scouting on my Baneling nest and the amount of Roaches I had led to him having a very poor unit composition. And he expected I was going to go Mutalisks. But that was just a blind move. It was just, he didn't know. And that was a big mistake on his part. And, yeah, so, while it's certainly possible to win a game just using brute force and good macro and just steamrolling your opponent, it's also very possible to win with small armies, and not even having the best micro, but just having good engagements, having good strategy, good unit placement. And I think that's something a lot of people don't really think about much in Starcraft. They don't really put a lot of importance in. And I think that's a bit of a shame. So anyways, I hope you guys learned something. I know I'm not, Masters League player, so I don't have like all sorts of tricks up my sleeve, but I hope you guys learned something regardless. Hope you found this a little bit entertaining. And I definitely had fun doing my first commentary. Probably will do a bit more and see how it goes. And I hope you tune in for those as well.